Welcome to RC Fun Time. Here's your host, Sean Janum.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? We are back from King of the Wings.
Yes, we are.
We had a great time down there, and we're going to go into that here in just a little bit. We got a whole line of things to talk about from the King of Wings, but we have a special guest with us tonight. We will be bringing him on right now. Sir, would you mind introducing yourself?
And I'm Ethan, and I'm from a Humble, Iowa, and I've been living for 5 years, I think it is.
5 years. Your home track is
Lighton Speedway.
Lighton Speedway. Something that we're going to show a little bit here in a little while. Not only do you race out there, but you also do another job out there.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and I am a Lighton photographer out there.
Very cool.
That is very cool. We got some pictures that we're going to go through here at some point that you were able to provide for us to get an idea of what you like to shoot and how you shoot. And we'll ask you some questions about that along with racing. I know Jag's got some questions for you.
Oh, yeah. I'll keep you light on your toes, I promise.
It's fine to me.
First thing, what got you into the RC hobby?
Well, and my parents and raced at Wild Bill's back in like the 90s, early 2000s, and it's just something my dad just kind of brought me into.
Fantastic. It's always been it's always great when family can bring other family, especially sons and daughters, into the hobby. And as a father, you know, it feels great when you guys join in.
Absolutely. I think that's the same thing. I mean, to see all the father-son, father-daughter teams out happen, and eventually watch the dad put the driver wheel, down and let the son take over. I mean, I think that's pretty cool
Exactly,
too.
Exactly. You know what? We got our first YouTube quote on here. Cody Coyle, welcome, and he is on YouTube. Thank you. If you haven't checked it out, check us out on YouTube. Eventually, I have a feeling somewhere down the line, when Facebook decides it's not going to let us do things on Facebook anymore, we're going to all need to be on YouTube anyway. But thank you, Cody, for checking us out on YouTube and listening tonight.
Absolutely. So, Jason, I've kind of was checking out your Facebook page there, man, and you are into a lot of different things. So one of my things, looks like you're into making bodies. So what kind of bodies are you making? And basically, like, is that something that just you do on the side, or is that something you do to sell?
And I do it most of it on the side, and it ain't really like a full-time job. It's just for fun.
Oh, nice. And this probably saves you a little bit of money too.
Exactly.
Colton, sir, what's up? When you got started, what was your first RC car?
It was, well, and like way back, it was an Associated B3.
B3.
I still have one of those. Those are great cars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have one, and then I wasn't that for a little while, and I jumped up to a B4.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I got one of those too.
Yeah.
So how many cars do you have currently?
Now that's the number a lot of people don't want to know.
But we do.
I'm wanting to guess. Just sitting in the room, I'm probably eyeballing like 14 cars right now.
Wow.
14 cars. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Jeffrey, sir, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We have Jason on. Jason's from home track is Layton out in Iowa.
He's from Ottumwa, Iowa.
But he's from Ottumwa.
Yep.
But go ahead with your next one there.
So
sorry about that.
One of the things that has been hot here, the last few years in RC are the 1RCs, and I noticed that you're into running them also. Is that something? Do you like running them more than the bigger, the 10th scale?
Yeah.
It just depends and varies.
Okay.
I know the 1RCs. I had a sprint car when they first came out, and they're so legit to a real car. I mean, like the frame itself, the way that the suspension's set up on them, I was so impressed with them. I loved playing with it. It's definitely something that I think in the future I'd like to get back into. But when are they going to ever make a 10th scale version of that? I mean, they're so popular.
They're so popular.
It's like, come on, man, let's make a 10th scale version of that car.
And it's so simple, I guess you could say.
Yes.
The design. And I know that's I know that's a pretty.
And it is very, very simple.
I know it's a very popular thing going on. Where do you race at for 1RC?
I have raced it at PCRC out in Oskaloosa.
Okay.
And then I've raced it one time down in Pleasantville, Iowa at Bobby's Hobbies, I think.
Okay.
Nice.
I know there's more and more tracks popping up for the 1RCs. I know I was up in where was that? The Thunderdome, up by I think Morris, Illinois. They have a very nice track up there. In fact, they just held the 1RC Midwest Championships.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
So, what getting away from the RC for just a second and getting into the other thing that we're talking about, you do the camera, the photography work out at Layton, and
I do.
It's really cool that the tracks are starting to get people that'll actually come out and do that, because we all like pictures. I mean,
right?
Who doesn't? And you like to see pictures of your car, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What got you into the photography part of RC cars?
It kind of started way back, and I was the photography person, and for a troop here.
Okay.
And it kind of was that there. And then I kind of put that off for a while. And then I found a very cheap camera on Facebook Marketplace. And it started off from then.
Fantastic. Marketplace, whether you're looking at video equipment or stuff like that. Connection closed by the server. Recover broadcast. We're going to continue. Cody's also on Facebook now. We're going to share that real quick. Sorry about that. I was making a couple of shares here real quick. The fact that...
Where'd he go?
Are there still Sean?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on. All right. Now we just it dropped you, and now we'll put you back on there. So it's going to continue. We're going to continue going. It said it dropped us for a second, and then I think it got back. Hopefully everybody will be able to hear us again here. If not right now, here in a very short future, because it says it's still live and it's also still recording.
Cool.
So, yep, got TJ Greer here Yes. King of the Wings was a blast. Absolutely. So you got a good camera. You found a camera on Marketplace.
Yep.
How was it when you approached Rob about doing the photography?
Well, I kind of didn't really ask him, and Rob was doing an exhibition style showcase on the 4th of July event at Lighton.
Okay.
And I just took pictures, and then I posted it, and then he liked it from there, and then it just kept on growing.
Fantastic. We got Chris Vieira in the house. Mr. Vieira, how are you? He is the man that's behind all the talk with DE. He's the one that promotes DE so much. His boss Dave is obviously the man behind DE, but Chris is the one that is out there showing his face and talking to all of us and talking up the products. If you haven't seen it, I posted it earlier. Sorry, Jason. I posted earlier. Chris has been putting out a little thing through Speedway Shenanigans about how DE actually makes their tires. They actually have shown the molds.
I've watched that.
And it's kind of a neat thing, and and again, one of the best things about it, it's American made.
American made, baby.
So thank you, Chris, for putting that out there. Thank you for coming on the show and letting us know you're there. You got another one for him?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jason, I noticed, again, you're into a lot of different things, and I noticed that you made a dirt grabber chassis for your custom works car.
Did.
How did that work out for you? Is it performing the way you expected? Or, I mean, is it something you're going to stick with? Maybe make a couple more, or what are you thinking?
And that we are in the prototype process until, and I made that, and I am a local guy at Lighton, and we have made a couple adjustments here and there, and me and him has talked, and that I am going to run that car all of the summer season at Lighton.
Fantastic.
Yep. You got to test them, man, and you got to put tweaks on them. I mean, you're developing something brand new, and it's going to definitely take a little time to get her tuned in for you.
And that it has showed, and that car can work. And that one day, and he ran from the tail of the field in the A, and ended up third at like a PT point race.
Cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
Absolutely.
That's cool. You're able to do stuff like that, because all I can do is put tires on a car and a body and put the battery in. I can't even imagine trying to build a chassis for one. So that's
there is pros and cons to it. It just takes time and experience.
Absolutely. Yep. And a lot of testing.
Sorry about that, Jason.
Yeah,
Wolfman.
a lot of testing too.
Wolfman just came in and did his howl, so we have that on tape. Anytime he does that, I have to play the howl.
Oh, Mr. Wolfman, he had one bad fast car at PTs.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Yes, he did. Hey, Wolfman, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get that pit walk through. We had some technical difficulties, and there was no sound for it.
Yeah, bummer.
Growing pains, and I apologize for that, everybody. I did not know that there was no sound going on with that. We have figured things out. In fact, the way we were talking with Jags during that time was trying to use what we're using right here, but I was doing it through a computer and bringing the computer in, and obviously I don't have to do that.
Those two didn't want to communicate well together.
And I wasn't all the way up to date on what I needed to be up to date on. This is still all a huge learning curve after being gone for a year. And I hope you guys are patient with me. And I'm always trying to invest and make better things go on. Jason, Jags brought up the fact that you made your own chassis. What got you into that? I mean, I think I kind of know because I followed you for a while on your personal page. You did this actually as a class, didn't you?
Well, and I took a college degree class and for machine technology and CNC machine in general.
Yep.
And around this time last year, and a racer out of the Des Moines area contacted me and told me he wanted to sell his machine. And then I hopped on it, and it's been a thing ever since.
Love-hate relationship.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. I know with the podcasting, I've found that I like this and love this just as much as I do racing. With your hobbies, with the photography, with the CNC workings and racing, do you have a favorite out of the three, or are they all pretty much the same?
Well, there's pros and cons to each thing.
Okay.
And in the photography part of it, and like a pro is that I can see how different cars react on the track.
Yep.
And a biggest con is being at home at like 1:30 in the morning and just hitting through like 4,000 pictures.
Yeah, you were talking about that when I was messaging you. I was trying to do something so that in the future we can have pictures and some information on the drivers as we come into the mains that we're at. We're at the shows that we're at, and you told me that you had over 4,000 over 3,000 just from Layton Nationals, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And I'm like 3,000 photos to go through from one show, 3-day show, 2-day show.
Yeah.
And it's
and it was like a one single all-day show.
One day show, 4,000 pictures. Can you imagine how many pictures he's snapping every minute?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. Kind of keeping in the sense of that, you also got another camera that you started using that gives you a great advantage. What might that be?
It'd be either the drone or the GoPro that's sitting beside me.
The drone is what I was talking about. You took some fabulous aerial shots of Layton that is just that's a game changer. Being able to see some of the action from above, and when we come out I know for the Layton Nationals, I want to get together with you because I want to be able to hook that into our stream at some time, which is not hard to do at all.
Cool.
So, but and that way we can give our followers a perspective that they can see, a new perspective for us at least. I really am inspired by that. I've already started thinking about how I'm going to be able to get one. I have used one before. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I have used one before at a race. It wasn't mine. Billy Shaw. He did that, and it was probably the most popular angle of the race.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like what he said with the drone. You know, you're above everything, so you can look down and watch how the cars react in the corners. You know, you might be able to even see some of that racing that, you know, some people don't want you to see that just happened on the track too. You know,
Exactly.
So it's awesome to have
exactly.
that. You'll have that on video, so then you'd be like, "Oh, this didn't happen, did it?"
Instant replay.
Right.
I'm throwing the flag.
You're like, I'm like, okay, there it is.
Yep. You got.
I got one more for you, Jason. You know, I mean, geez, I mean, again, you're into a ton of different stuff. I noticed you did a 3D print of a 1/12 scale RC car. How did that end up working out?
The one, okay, on that one. And and I was on Facebook one day, and they had that somewhere being raced at an indoor carpet track.
Okay.
And apparently its files for that is like free to download. Oh, and all I did is I just transfer over files, and then I started hitting print.
Wow.
Were you happy with the finished product?
And I need to make some adjustments to it, and it's like in process thing.
All right. A couple people come on. Robin Wolfman said that his car felt great at King of the Wings. Obviously, it felt fantastic for him.
It looked so beautiful.
And it did. It absolutely did. He was the one to beat, and nobody could do it for his group. Jason says you take some great pictures.
Maury?
Yep. He says, "What's up?"
Okay, yep.
And then Tyler Trublet, the Time Bomb's checking in. How are you, sir? Been a long time. Seeing that you kind of getting back into the racing thing too yourself.
He's getting back into it big time.
Big time. Big time. He also just visited a race and brought home a side panel.
Oh, I saw that. The Larson's
side panel.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
So, Jason, getting back to RC. What is your favorite class to race?
I want to say right now, it's probably 360 sprint car.
360 sprint car. Now, when we first met, you were doing street stock, and you were actually pretty good at it.
Yes, I was.
You also
I was okay at it.
You were pretty good. You were pretty good. You also have a brother that races as well.
Yes, I do.
Is he better than you, or are you better than him?
Oh.
And he's younger too, correct?
Yeah, he is. And people call him the wheel man.
The wheel
man.
man.
He can wheel anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you ready for Palmer Racing to come back to racing this summer? Absolutely, Sonny.
Yes.
Just like us, we can't wait for you to be back as well. We can't wait to see you guys, all of the Palmer family. That's always a great time when you guys show up at a track. You definitely bring a good crowd with you, and it's always fun to be around you when you're pitting and racing. That is for sure.
Got a couple of people joining in. I just want to say hi to. Say hi to Mike Murphy Jr., Mike Bruner, Alex Fanning, your King of the Wing champ.
Hey,
Chris. Man, we got a bunch in here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Yeah. And James, good job.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Jason.
Yes, Sean.
We did a question at the King of the Wings. Pepsi or Coke?
Okay. Pepsi all the way.
Pepsi
Yes.
all the way.
Yes.
We then turned around and got interviewed, and similar to like what
I watched that.
That was fun.
Similar to what Jags likes to do, they did a little thing they called was it
Speed round.
Speed round.
I think that's what it was.
Speed round. Yes, it was.
And it's kind of neat to learn about the person that we're interviewing besides the RC stuff and besides, stuff like that. Hot dog or hamburger?
Hamburger.
Yeah.
Potato or potato?
Potato.
There you go. I know you got some in there.
No.
You're not?
No, not that wouldn't be any different what he asked. I mean, the debate of caramel or caramel.
Exactly.
I mean, that's always a good one.
Exactly.
Caramel.
Caramel.
Oh, boo.
Oh. Long sleeve or short sleeve t-shirts?
I'm like a short sleeve person.
Short sleeve. Pants or shorts?
It just depends.
Okay. Usually you wear those underneath, but sorry.
Oh.
You walked into that one.
Yeah, true.
So, all right, sir.
I got one more.
Okay.
Indoor or outdoor racing? What do you prefer?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. Because and I've only ran indoor like probably 4 times. And like the first 2 times were good. That like the third time was okay. And this last time I loved it. And I also do love a outdoor outdoor loose dirt track that Rob does every single week for us.
Amen, brother. That's me too. I mean, I've been out there a couple of times and I can't wait to go back. I mean, that loose dirt, being outdoors too, just being in the sun, the fresh air, and then doing racing at the same time.
Jimmy Beal says, "Hey, Jason."
Jimmy Beal, my guy. And I have noticed, and that Lighton is the only track, and like the sun sets, and like the sun is blind every time.
Yep.
That is something that I had noticed as well. It's not a very long period of time, but yeah, there's that time that definitely has its disadvantages. But everything else, man, compared to everything else, that's a minute little thing. That's a little detail.
Well, it's like we mentioned Saturday, when that sun does go down, it gets back over the backboards of the backstretch there. That bite just comes up on that track, man. That dirt just gets nice.
Oh my goodness, it's like night and day different from us.
It is too. Yep.
All right, Jason, I'm going to start scrolling through some of the pictures that you've taken. If you notice a certain picture that you see and you want to talk about it, just tell us to stop, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Huh?
Okay, no problem.
All right, here we go. And we're switching back to solo. All right. I love this one because you got so much going on there. You got both racers adjusting their remotes, making those final tweaks.
Serious looking faces there.
Yeah, and that's Brad Van Wielden in the back, and then that's Richard Knapp up front.
All right.
And now that is Larry Herring.
Larry Herring, yep. He was down at King of Wings this past weekend with us.
Yes,
can't tell if he's hiding from rain or just trying to stay out of the sun.
And he's probably trying to hide from the camera, and that people have told me I'm very sneaky with the camera.
Yes, indeed, I have heard that.
And now that's Mr. David Fast, and now that was on our 2-day race.
Okay. I like it because he's shooting the peace sign. That's my favorite thing. Mr. Donald's
and
car.
That is and that's Matt Donald's Ford tank, and that's his T-Rex chest.
Fantastic.
I don't know what the picture is, but I'm pretty sure that's an A-main picture.
Car number 23 is blue and white.
I love that picture.
That is, and that's why I picked it, because you captured the car perfectly, and then it has the blur in the background of how fast, and you can see how fast it was going. So yeah, that's one of my favorite ones as well.
Now that is on the left is Levi Hick out of the Adele area, and that's his friend.
Gotcha.
Love the shades.
And it was pretty hot that day, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. And now that is the first time I took pictures at Lighton.
Okay.
It was a 4th of July expedition showcase. And people could come down and rent out cars, and then like Rob was helping this little kid just have fun.
Absolutely, and that's another one of the reasons why I picked this one, is because you got him working with a little one, and we've always said,
yep, bring the kids, man. We got to get the kids into this.
Exactly. So that showed to me, that showed great things, and then also with the Layton there, you can see how many people are there. In the background, got the blankets out, got chairs out, and people can sit on that side and watch the races. And we got this picture right here. That's
and that is the Madman. Well, and I call him Uncle Ed.
Uncle Ed. He was Mr. BBE.
Yes, he was BBE.
Yes, he was. He's one bad dude. He's an awesome guy to talk with. He's an awesome guy to watch race, just be around.
Exactly.
All right. Tell us a little bit about this here real quick.
Okay, here. And we're having technical difficulty, and with the track loop system.
Yep.
And Rob just decided to just bury a brand new timing loop and then repacking the track.
Yep. That's fantastic. I mean, you guys, looks like everybody lent a hand, got everything done real quick and moved. It shows again, one of those things about the RC community. Everybody will step up and be a part of getting the situation taken care of.
Yeah, everybody's willing to lend a hand in anything.
And that is Mr. Flanagan, 13.5 Midwest Maw. That was our big 2-race day and 1-day event. And now that was a long day of racing.
Yeah, anytime you get 2 days in a row. You said that's a 13.5.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it was two different shows cram-packed into 1 day.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. So 2 events in 1 day. Holy cow. Real quick, Chris, yes, you definitely need to come out. As awesome as the Chili Bowl is, Layton holds a race at the same time as the Knoxville Nationals. Mm-hmm. And it is possible, they have in the past, where you've been able to get done in time to go see some of the racing at Knoxville. So keep that in mind.
Yes, you have.
Knoxville Nationals is going on, and then they have the Layton Nationals, which kind of goes hand in hand.
Sprint car, isn't that the sprint car capital of the world?
Yes, it is. It is.
It'd be amazing to go there.
You said this is
that. Wait. No, go ahead. My bad.
Yep. Getting back to this picture here real quick before we continue on. You said this was a 13.5, correct?
Yes, it is.
Look at that thing pulling that front wheel.
Yeah, that shows you the bite that track has. That thing it's getting it coming off that corner there.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy.
Now that is okay. Now that is Matt Donald on the left. That is Mike Murphy Jr. in the middle, and then Caleb Brennis on the end.
Yes, indeed.
Some studs there.
Yes, indeed. They were all on fire down at King of Wings. This one I liked. This is obviously the start of a race or a restart.
Well, and that is a parade lap.
Okay.
And for its Knoxville Nationals, well, it's Light Nationals.
Gotcha. Jimmy Beal says front row challenge is in Oskaloosa is the Monday after Layton Nationals. Kyle Larson usually runs the FRC front row challenge. So that's another good thing to know here.
Chris, we'd love to see you come out, man.
Absolutely.
We'd have a great time.
I got a trailer with your name on it. All right, Mr.
Okay. And that is Mr. Hallie Beller. And he went TQ and 360 and 410.
Wow.
It's a good day there.
I know who one of these guys are.
Yes, and that is Mr. Tim Sutherland in the pink shirt, and then Brad Noon in the yellow.
I knew Brad. I couldn't tell who the other one was.
I'm telling you, Brad.
And its weird thing is, and I bought the table off of Brad Noon.
Ah.
If Brad's listening, I'm still going to tell him that Dave Mustaine is still a better guitarist than and it's a shame he left Metallica.
And that there is a picture of Rob Rennis' car on the first show of the two-show event.
Fantastic. Two greats right there.
That is Mike Murphy. And then I think he's a person out of the Muscatine area.
No, he's out of the Quad Cities. That is the Godfather, Rich Nordholm.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Got a couple more, and then we're going to go ahead and switch here. This is another one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
You did a fantastic job on getting that one with the flag in view and then everything else blurred into it. I absolutely love this one.
Yes. And that is on the very first day I took pictures there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was driving. He was driving Caleb Brennis' 410 sprint car on the track that time.
Gotcha. All right. Two more. That one right there. That's
a great picture.
Wow. Good catch.
Yeah, now that's a lot of things happening at the track at one time.
Exactly. To get those shots, those are the shots that aren't the easiest to get, and having to be at the right time at the right place, that's really cool.
Man, he's backwards and in midair. I mean,
yeah,
that is so cool.
And it was not a good time at that track.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine somebody probably wasn't too happy about the outcome of that one.
All right, I got one more.
Really.
Somebody's
excited. And that there is Mr. Michael Pruitt. And I think he just won a Traxxas Slasher. I'm not sure.
Gotcha. All right. We're going to be back to you here. Do you have anybody that you'd like to thank real quick?
Ooh, I'd like to thank Halle Beller, one, and all of the things he's helped me with over the years. I'd like to thank Brennis and for even allowing me to take pictures outlining. And then I'd like to thank Mr. Ed Bogard and helping me with its table and whatnot.
Fantastic, sir. I can't thank you enough for coming back. You're our first guest officially. We had some guests down at PTs, but those are different than bringing somebody on. I want to thank you for being our first guest back.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
We've learned a lot. Problem. I want to talk with you again some more at some other time. And your brother. One of the things that we like to, or we're trying to do, is have diversity in all the RC fields. And I know you and your brother both do airplanes as well.
Well, and that he mostly does the airplane side of things right now.
Okay.
But I've kind of talked him into and racing again this summer.
Gotcha.
Well, he is the wheelman.
He is the wheelman.
Yeah. And that he has been called the wheelman before.
So, all right, sir. Again, we thank you so very much for coming on. And we're going to let you get back to your night. We're going to do some recap of the King of the Wings. And
cool.
Again, thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.
You too there, Sean.
And Sean. Jags is Sean as well.
Yeah. It's nice meeting you, Jason.
Okay, both Sean's then.
Yep. All right, sir. I'm gonna try to figure out how to end this now. I think you might have to just click end or something.
Okay, thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you.
All right, see you, Jason.
See you, Jason.
See you, Dad.
All right, fantastic. That was Jason from out at Layton. He is a racer and a photographer.
And a fabricator.
And fabricator.
I mean, jeez.
He does a lot of different things. So
how do you find the time for all that?
Yeah. Sometimes, I wonder too. I feel like I'm in that boat trying to do different things, but he's got a couple more on there than I do. So, all right. Guess what, guys? It's that time. That's right. It is time to talk about King of Wings. Jags, we went down there for Saturday's race, and I got to say I was wowed. Even though I knew it was going to be a great race, I was even more wowed than I was expecting.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. I mean, the way that they run the program there, the track maintenance, the food, the bathrooms, the people, just everything about that event was an amazing time. Absolutely.
Started off, I did go down Friday, kind of get set up, and they had a pretty decent turnout Friday. Most all the guys that were in the mod sprint were there because they had to do a seeding round, which was kind of a different kind of seeding round.
Yeah. So they ended up splitting them into two groups.
That's correct. There was a Group A and Group B. They took, I believe, the top 24 that seeded and put them into Group A, and then the bottom 17 or something like that were in Group B. Group B raced first on the week or on Saturday.
Yep.
And the winner of that had the option of bumping up or taking a trophy home. Each one of the top 3 got a trophy. The winner of it had the choice of bumping up or taking the trophy.
Yeah, he bumped up into I believe what was like the C main for the Group A.
Yes.
And had to try to make his way up to the A main of the A group.
That is correct. And we'll go over some of those results here in a little bit. One of the things that I noticed is it's another one of these races that it draws from all over.
For sure.
Mr. Lund from New York State was here and made his long trip out this way, and it was good to see him.
I think they said last year they even had people from Canada.
Yep. I know the guy who it was, and I can't even think of Pace Jean-Ron.
Nice.
He was down at the Chili Bowl a couple of years ago when we were down there. Super nice guy. He runs for Team Custom Works.
Okay.
So
can't beat that.
No. They had 4 classes this year.
Yes.
Yes.
4?
Midgets.
Oh, the 50s.
50 over. 13.5 and mod sprint.
Yep.
And then again, they broke that mod sprint down into A and B. So, if you have any questions throughout this time here, go ahead and pop them up there. Any comments? Had several comments about how people liked the King of Wings already, and the Wolfman's already said how good his car was, and we said the same thing. He was on fire. He was the one to beat, and fortunately nobody else could beat him. I mean, he raced that car and took it all the way to the front and TQ'd.
Well, he won it last year, so just like a true champion, I mean, the minute he put the car on the track for practice even.
Yes.
The car just looked amazing. So he just had to do little tweaks throughout the day, and it just kept getting better and better. I mean, you can't go wrong there.
That whole group, I mean, there was I think 17 50 over, 17 or 18, I can't remember exactly, but every single one of those guys is, got a ton of experience going into that group, and to be able to be the top of that is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about that class is all the experience that's in there and the way they race. I mean, these guys have been racing with each other for many years. So the respect on that track is it's so awesome to watch that.
Absolutely.
There's guys giving, there's nobody really taking. Everybody's got patience. They know they got a long race to go. There's no reason to do anything stupid early, and it's just fun to watch that class.
Exactly. Some of the best, cleanest racing I've ever seen, whether it was at PTs or wherever you go, and you have the 50 plus or 45 plus class, depending on where you're at.
To quote the Godfather himself,
yes,
old guys rule.
Old guys rule. Guess what? Yes, I am one of those old guys.
Yep, I'm officially in that group now. I could do that if I choose to, but I don't have a sprint car, so.
And that was something new too that was brought up a couple of times by people that were down there. They kind of wished that they still had the other cars there. They were disappointed that it was just sprint cars. But talking with Tom and Paul, they did that on purpose. Yeah,
I think I'm not really exactly sure why they did that, but my opinion of it is like that is how that race started out. Mm-hmm. It was basically late model sprint car. But if you imagine if they still did that today at PTs because of the turnout they get, you would be there for 2 days straight.
Exactly.
I mean, you couldn't do it.
No, and they did it this year. They did it within the last year. They had the World 100 that they emulated that down there, and that was just those cars.
Yep.
It was that it was done, and they wanted to make sure that the King of the Wings truly focused on the sprint car.
Yep. Because it does kind of. In the title, it is King of the Wing.
Absolutely,
that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And just to throw that out there, Michael McGee, I believe, won the World 100.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure of that. So congrats to him on that, because that's a stacked field.
Yes, it is.
Just as stacked as the King of Wings. So congrats on that, Michael.
All right. So besides the 50, the hot thing right now in the RC world, the midgets.
Yes, they are. They that was my first time getting to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Learned some stuff about them. I had no idea that they actually had a different, shorter chassis. I think they're pretty cool. They seem like, to me, I asked a couple of people, because in my mind, like without having a wing, I thought they'd be a lot harder to drive.
Mm-hmm.
But from what, a couple of people I talked to said that they're not hard to drive at all.
It looked like there was a couple times during the day when they would come out and they would have some issues. And it actually started off in the A main. They started off the A main a little bit on the sketchy side, but it wasn't very long, and everybody was up to speed and going, and then that became a very clean race as well.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few guys there there was two guys there that really had a good battle. Alex Fanning was one of them that had a really good day in midgets, and Michael Murphy was another one that had a really good day in midgets.
Yeah, he ended up winning it.
Yes, indeed.
Mike Murphy Jr. ended up winning the midgets.
So, 13.5 kind of continue to just jump for right now. 13.5 that is somewhat of a Midwest thing from what I'm reading online. I know that there's 13.5s, but then this is the 13.5 spec class.
Right.
They use a hobby wing?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that. I wish I could have checked into that.
I'm 90% sure that it's a hobby wing and a hobby wing ESC as well. 13.5. The motor cannot be adjusted. It is sealed.
Mm-hmm.
They detect that, and then they make sure that the ESC is in blinky mode, which I think that's the only way that one can be, because it's kind of a stock type thing. You can't race it in any other way. You can't make adjustments on it, from what I understand.
In my opinion on that, but I mean, I'm going to throw this out here because I'm a guy that runs on a very, very low budget. I always have. And I don't understand why that's not more popular than it is.
It is becoming more popular. And that's, again, something I was reading here just recently. Indiana, several tracks in Indiana are starting to go to it, a couple up in Michigan, up in Wisconsin, and a few out in Iowa now. But it basically kind of started around here in Illinois, around this area.
Mm-hmm.
And is because of that number one reason, $110 for your ESC motor combo.
Yep.
$110, you put that in there, and everybody's right at the same. You're not going out and spending $300 on a motor, to try to get that extra outlaw motor power. Everybody's running the same, and that was the nice thing. They were so close in times.
Right. It made some great racing.
Oh, fantastic.
And what it does is it puts it in the, I like to say it like your crew chief, which of course is you,
mm-hmm.
but it makes you learn how to adjust that car to get it faster than the next guy.
Yep.
Instead of just like you say, going out and spending, well, I got $300 to go get a motor, and this guy's got $100 motor. Well, I'm going to whip him now.
Exactly. It puts it into your setup, and it puts it into your driving style. It makes you learn the proper lap around that track. You need to know when you need to arch. You need to know when you need to be flat. You need to, when you need to pitch that rear end or something like that. Whatever you need to do, it teaches you that you have to be more than just pulling that trigger. But pulling that trigger is a lot of it.
And another thing, I've had this combo before in my street stock. I had the 13.5 combo,
mm-hmm.
and you want to talk about bulletproof. I mean, the cans on the motors are almost sealed all the way around, so they don't have like a lot of, like, when you get into your mod motors, most of the can is gone because
mm-hmm.
they need the air to get in there as much
mm-hmm.
as possible. Well, what else gets in there when that happens?
The dirts, the rock, you name it.
Right. So
pieces of plastic.
I mean, I ran that 13.5 for 2.5 years in my street stock.
Yep.
And never had one issue with it. And it was just as strong at the end of that 2.5 years that it was when I first got it. So, I mean, I really, really think it would be awesome if we could get more of that. Make it more common, I think.
They're calling it in another class that they're running it in. They're running it in late models. They're calling it crate crate late model.
Yep.
Running that 13.5 with the 13.5 or with the spec ESC as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I see it coming around more and more and more. Guys like it, guys don't. You've always got the guys that are going to be like, I want the power.
I've got an endless amount of money,
and they're going to want to race the big dogs. Do all that stuff. So obviously, that's going to be there too. You're going to have your mod classes as well. But I see that stock class coming back into the area, or coming into the area more and more into the surrounding areas as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Marty, sir, how are you?
Welcome. I'll tell you what.
You can make one. Chance, I agree. I went down a few weeks ago and just getting back into it, and to show up on a points race, everyone was very welcoming. Yeah. Absolutely. They're a fantastic group down there. Fantastic group. The tennis family, they're an amazing group to work with.
Well, they really care about what we are doing.
Yes.
They really care, and they want people to enjoy it. They want people to have everything they need to have a good time, and it shows. Absolutely.
Some of the best hospitality I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now, moving on to the mods.
Okay, yeah.
That was pretty wild.
There was, unfortunately, the plow disc, a lot of people couldn't figure out that you're not supposed to drive on them.
It was launching a few cars. It was. And they would actually hit those, and it wasn't uncommon for them to go outside of the track.
And I know, some people are going to be displeased with that and not think that the plow disc is the right thing to use. I understand where you're coming from on that. I saw some comments here and there about it, but overall, the point is you're not supposed to be running down there.
Exactly.
If I know and they would get collected, and yes, that absolutely sucks. But what are you going to do? I mean,
you only got a couple of choices that you can do. You can't. I hate to say it, but you can't leave it open and just rely on a paint marker to keep people out, because you're going to get the people that are going to go underneath that paint marker.
Absolutely.
And that's a shame. I mean, you can build a berm, which, it works too.
A little bit.
But you'll see guys riding that berm.
Oh, yeah, there's a skateboard.
I've seen them ride the inside of the berm.
Yep.
And try to take advantage of that. Then you got whiskers.
And to me, those aren't too bad. I mean, they slow you down.
Yes, they do.
But they're not going to flip your car over. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but for the most part, it won't upset the car so bad. But then again, it's something that people will end up using.
But at the same time, it's not fair for all the classes.
Right.
Because your late models, your sprint cars, they're light enough that it will slow them down.
Yep.
You get down there with your SC mods, your mud bosses, stuff like that.
Just drive through it.
Was that a whisker?
Yeah.
Did I just hit something? No. Yeah. So having those isn't exactly fair to all classes. It is a way to deter people ducking underneath, obviously. And these plow disc, as bad as it is, and some of the things that it does, you still have to have that concept to keep people off of that bottom.
Absolutely. I mean, and one of my favorite comments back to somebody not liking the plow disc was, "Hey man, it's the tractor tire of the RC world." Because like in real dirt racing, they'll just throw a bunch of tractor tires on the inside, and you hit one of them, you're gonna get messed up.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's and they even have a page for the tractor tires
really?
on Facebook. It's the infield tractor tire, something like that, and they're always talking about that. Chance and Cody both came up with yes, it is a 13.5 Hobby Wing just stock. The just stock motors and ESCs are what was in that class and what we've talked about bringing and seeing more of come into the thing. And again, they're $110. A great way for a budget. I mean, you're getting a nicer you're getting the nicer cars, your nicer setups, but you're still keeping the budget somewhat restricted,
Yep.
and making it a fair fight. Those guys all were within less than half a second, I believe it was, of each other.
Oh yeah.
So it was amazing. And there was 40. Actually, it was more like a second. There was 40. 43 or 44.
I think 3. I think.
Because they actually had more than the
Yeah.
Mod A sprint.
Yep.
So it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild seeing all those guys go at it.
Yeah, it's like I said, to watch close racing. I mean, especially from where we were sitting.
Yes.
I mean, that we had that catbird seat up there, and I mean, to look down, on that racing and be able to watch, because like when you're down on the driver, stand, you have like that one level view. So you're going on the backstretch, you can't see exactly so much what's happening. You can watch your car.
Yeah.
But we were able to sit down, and I mean, it's like being in the Goodyear blimp.
Exactly.
It's so cool.
Tom and Paul and the tennis family again helped us and let us get set up in probably, like you said, the catbird seat of the entire race. Our camera was set up right at the start-finish line. Didn't get to see all the track because the camera wouldn't go out wide enough. I apologize for that. Constantly trying to change things, get things better. So keep an eye out. I've already started looking around for some more stuff, more equipment. That's a thing of me. I'm always trying to find something. But now that we've got a little bit of a rundown of the classes and how the racing went, I'm going to give it to Jags and let him tell you about the finishes. Some of the people that were in the zone.
Yeah. Again, some of the best people in RC racing were here, and we want to give out props to everybody who made, the A mains and where they finished. I mean, it's an honor for anybody to make the A mains in any of these classes, because you worked your butt off. I mean, it's not an easy event. So we want to start off with the 50 plus sprint car. Like we mentioned earlier, now he's a 2-time champion. You got Rob Mulvaney, Wolfman, got first. And my good friend Kevin Kleiber got second.
Yes, indeed.
And another awesome, a mentor to me in this whole deal was the Godfather, Rich Nordholm, got third.
Great friend of the show.
And I ain't gonna lie. I told Sean I didn't say anything to Sean before the race started, but once it was over, I said to you, I was like, "That's the 3 people I wanted." I didn't care where they finished, but I wanted the 3 of them. 1, 2, 3.
Thing about Rich, where did he come from?
He came from the B.
He won the B.
Yes, he did.
He won the B main and got that transfer spot up into the A main
In a rent-a-car.
Yes, Brett Lund.
Yep.
He was running a car for Brett.
Rich is a late model guy primarily, and he got a chance to get in a sprint car and come down and have fun down there, and boy, did he ever.
Yes, he did. He took big advantage of it.
So we got Rich Darnell in 4th, and Jeff Henderson finished 5th, Tony Mitchell in 6th, and Gary Brandon got 7th in the 50-plus sprint. So congratulations to you,
gentlemen. Congratulations to the top 3. Wolfman, one heck of a day. That was a beautiful day of racing for you.
Man, I was watching this car, and I'm like, I want to drive it. It's just, I was so jealous of how well it was driving. I mean, it's just, he knows his stuff. He's been doing it for a bit, and he's, like I said, down there, he's a great ambassador for Custom Works. I mean, he's just a overall great guy, good personality, help anybody out. So congrats to him again. He deserves it.
Absolutely.
Back-to-back champ. So your 13.5 sprint, hey, main, like we mentioned, there was more of them than the mod sprints. And so these guys really put the work in for the day. Oh, nice.
Yes.
Look at those studs. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but I like I said, these were the 3 I wanted up there. I mean, that's a great picture.
13.5 is next, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll wait for you to get those.
So there was a father and his 2 sons there over this weekend, and I just want to, give a big shout out to them, the 3 of them. It's the Lewis family.
Yes.
They all ran very solid, all day long, and it showed here in the 13.5 A main. So
now they're from up around Kankakee, correct?
Yes, sir. They started up there at Limestone, phone tire, sorry, and to watch his sons, come along with him and do this.
Absolutely.
And they're again class act people. I talked to Joe a little bit after it was over. Very nice. Just thankful for where he's at, and his sons were the same way. So it's cool to see them do that, all 3 together. And it, like I said, it shows that they put the work in. Because JoJo Lewis took the win in the 13.5 sprint. Another good friend of mine, Cameron Kleiber, ended up second.
Kleiber's in second place in 50 and in 13.5.
That's another father-son combo
exactly.
there. Again, there's so many of them, and I'm gonna admit it, I'm jealous.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wish I could get my son away from the video games.
Mm-hmm.
So here's another Lewis, or Jamari Lewis ended up 3rd in that race. Then number 4 is Michael Reitz. Number 5 is Just Cuz. Number 6, there's the dad there, Kevin Kleiber. And number 7, Rich Darnell. So congratulations to all you gentlemen. You deserve it, man. You guys, like I said, it's amazing to watch you guys put in all that work.
Real quick here, PITD RC. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. They do a tire washer and some other 3D products as well. The tire washer is can be used not only just to wash your tires, but to also use to set up your prep as well. Charlie is a fantastic friend of the show, and good to see him watching. And thank you, sir, for asking us or making sure we were here and we're back. Sorry about that.
No, all good. So now we're going to move on to the Mod Sprint A main.
Oh, we do midgets.
Let's see. I'm going to go
Should have been first one.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No problem. All right. Again, this is a newer class, but still got some studs in this one. And so we'll start with Mike Murphy Jr. won it. We got Scott Hooper in second, Thomas Turek in third, Tyler Burmeister in fourth, Alex Fanning in fifth. Number 6 is Jason Fleming, and Gavin Tennis in number 7.
Your TQ for that was Alex Fanning.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, he had a fast car all day. I think he just ended up with a little bit of trouble there in the very beginning of that race.
Yes, he did.
And kind of put him back a little bit. And Mr. Smooth Man Mike just walked on and took off on that one.
That's the 3 that were in the B group, Mod A or Mod Group B.
Okay.
So again, the Mod Sprint was divided into 2 groups. They seeded on Friday night. The top 24 seed went into Group A and raced each other. The remaining 17 went into Group B and raced each other. The winner of the Group B had a choice to make. They had the choice of either bumping up to Group A and being the 25th driver in that group, or they could take the trophy for Group B.
Mm-hmm. And the gentleman that did that was Nick Henderson. He said he's there to race, so he forfeited his trophy and went on up there and got in the C and tried to make his way up.
Yes, he did. And he did not finish last. Let me say that.
Yep. Congrats to him for doing that. I think that's a pretty cool move.
Yes, it is. Cale Brennis wound up at that point picking up the win for that group.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the other ones?
You got Rick Putnam and then Zach Christensen.
So you're second and third.
Yep.
So, all right, the big one.
There it is. Look at them studs. Man.
Wow.
All right, so Alex Fanning took the win, taking home the amazing trophy. Jared Howard took second. Dustin Malacote got third. Mike Murphy Jr. fourth. And JoJo Lewis in fifth. And Zach Gokin in sixth. And by the way, Zach, I brought the hat back like you said, man. There it is. Got to have my fishing hat, you know. He said it wasn't me without my fishing hat, so we knocked the dust off and brought it back. And finishing in 7th place is Justin Atkinson. So congratulations to everyone there. I know next year you guys will all be back and give Alex a run for his money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got a picture of the trophy there with Paul Tennis and your winner, Alex Fanning. Corey Burgett, how are you doing, sir? Thank you. I got a special thank you to Corey. Corey had an open bed in his room, and I wound up staying Friday night down there with him. Thanks to him that I made it down there and was able to stay there, and then went out to breakfast the next morning. Thank you, sir, and had a great time. Great reminiscing about the past years.
That's very cool of him to do that for you. Once again, it just shows the RC community will lend a hand in anything.
Exactly. Thank you, sir. Again, as you can see there, that is a one-of-a-kind trophy.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's going to probably be right on the front mantle for a while, I'm sure.
I was asking him, I'm like, Alex, do you have room in the car to even get it home? And he says, we're making room.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see that he went out to Oklahoma
the next day?
Yeah, to chase a storm.
Yes,
that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
he probably didn't get home until probably around 2 or 3 o'clock, and was out the next day in very short time running after storms.
I don't know how he does it, man.
He's got a lot of stuff going on out there, and